In March of 2015, we looked at how Sphero could be used in the kindergarten through second grade classroom. The idea of Sphero in the second grade and below is really to get students to begin thinking about what could they do and what types of questions would they have for themselves. How would they list those questions? How would they explore those answers? And how would they report back those answers? In this lesson from Sphero's education, we look at the MacroLab app. Again, it is a free app, and it's available in the iTunes Store or in Google Play, so you could have an iOS device or an Android device. When you start up the app, you'll find they give you 8 starter programs. At the bottom of the screen, we again have to aim the device in order to point it in the right direction. The plus sign lets us create our macro, and the edit button up top will allow you to delete macros. After you click the plus sign, it asks you to give the macro a name. Then you're presented with the main programming screen. The triangle lets you run your macros. In the bottom right-hand corner, the plus lets you add commands, and finally at the top, you can click the edit button to delete or rearrange commands. You can see the various commands in the back, such as roll, and when you add that roll command, it gives you options for how do you want it to roll. Do you want it to roll 100% of speed or 20%? What direction do you want it to head? And finally, the delay tells how long the ball should roll in milliseconds as opposed to seconds. So if you want the ball to roll for 3 seconds, you have to tell it the delay is 3,000 milliseconds. This is actually all explained in the teacher guide and step by step in the student guide. As you would with students, when we were done, we had a debriefing and talked about the problems that arose. One included there being a typo on the worksheet. Others included ideas such as how do you get the ball to stop exactly where you want it to stop. These are the types of questions that you want your students generating and then figuring out the answers to. Questions came up such as would the ball roll faster or slower on a carpeted versus uncarpeted surface, and the fact that when the ball is rolling through programming, it needs a second to stop and pause before it turns around. You will absolutely learn more by doing this in a hands-on way, so feel free to give me a call and borrow a Sphero.